know that there's a scientifically proven diet called the low FODMAP diet, which helps about 75% of people that try it with their IBS symptoms, makes a significant difference to their symptoms. So the low FODMAP diet is looking at a group of carbohydrates called fermentable carbohydrates, and the reason why they're fermentable is because they're not quite properly broken down in your gut, which is not a problem. Doesn't mean that your gut's malabsorbing. Everyone eats FODMAPs as part of their diet, and they're not bad for you. But if you've got a hypersensitive gut, they are fermented lower down your gut, and that fermentation causes excess gas, which can cause bloating and wind. The carbohydrates that are left in your gut can also pull in excess water, which can lead to like looser stools, more frequent stools. Some people go the other way though, because of all the kind of spasming with the gas. They can actually alternate with constipation. So we know that if you cut out FODMAPs from your diet, you're likely to have a good improvement. In fact, it's the best way we know of so far in terms of the scientific evidence to manage IBS. So that's where I direct most people that are really struggling with their symptoms. But the important thing is it's not a long-term diet. The first initial stages are 4 weeks where you cut out all of the fermentable carbohydrates. But then after that, you want to bring each of the families back in and look at your tolerance levels. So the aim of doing this is to get as much food freedom as possible, as much enjoyment. You know, food should be enjoyable and sociable. And so much of the difficulty when you're suffering with IBS is that it's very common to become afraid of eating or to not look forward to social occasions where you're all going to be eating together, sharing a meal with friends, and because you're so afraid of symptoms. Whereas if you can identify what your food triggers are by doing the low FODMAP diet, you're in control and you know what you can have, what you're going to avoid. So really it's about putting control back in your life in terms of knowing how to manage your symptoms.
Okay, and that's a plan. That's something. There's a process that people go through, right?
It is quite a complicated diet, and there are lots of little caveats to it. So when you're kind of surfing the net, there are lots of different information out there. So I would encourage people to get support either through their doctor dietitian or through a program like ours, where it's simplified and there's a clear plan and a clear time frame.